Hello. I'm just pre-recording today because Salvatore's not going to let me actually accomplish anything. I can hear him screaming in his room. So I'm just going to make this quick. Motivational Monday. Happy Monday. Who's excited for Monday? I don't know. Mondays are okay. Mondays are just other days where I don't really do much. I don't know. I don't really start actually working on stuff outside of social media until Wednesdays. So today for Motivational Monday, let's just talk real quickly about positivity and self-love and how they're like super important while you're healing. Even like at the end of my marriage, I didn't get out right away. It took a while, and like for a good 6 months, I just focused on myself and loving myself and learning to figure out like what I deserved and stuff. And that all came from inside of me. Basically, just I can remember telling myself I was just going to be happy. And I just started to be happy. I told myself this every single day, and I probably didn't believe it for the first like 2 weeks, but like self-talk is real. Self-talk is super effective and important, and it's like the best tool that you can utilize. And why not? We sit there and self-talk ourselves to death all the time, right? With negativity and how much we are ugly, or we're fat, or we're not smart, or we're not adequate enough. And that's just not healthy. So, I challenge you to, whenever you get a negative thought inside of your mind, to combat that with, something positive. Because why shouldn't we tell ourselves positive things? Like, we're our own worst enemies. I'm sure so many people out there agree with me on that. So another thing to do to help reinforce positivity and self-love is like hanging affirmations around your house. I know that I've talked about this before, and I've always had some, like even in my fridge, in my medicine cabinet, especially like struggling with addiction. Like, it was really important to be able to like have those reminders. But like struggling with mental health as well, being bipolar is probably the biggest challenge in my life, especially because of how I have chosen to take care of it, especially like with getting off meds and like totally throwing myself into therapy techniques that I've learned over the last 15 years. Hanging those like positive affirmations all over the house, like that's just so important, and it just helps. It's effortless, and it just helps. Seeing those words, eventually they start to resonate inside of you. But like, so the core of it is self-love, and like that's gonna happen with being positive and with self-talk and all those other things. And the reason why it's so important to love yourself is because then you are able to love others, but also able to attract the love that you deserve and the happiness and the things that you deserve. Like, I can honestly say I didn't even start loving myself until about 7 months ago, and I'm 30 years old. So I spent my whole entire life basically just wanting to kill myself and sitting in self-loathing and, why me? Why do I have toxic parents who don't love me? And then I got into this relationship, and I was like, why am I in this toxic marriage? Well, I realized that like I also had a hand in that and had to stop like passing the blame, which like was really an eye-opener because my husband always kept passing the blame. And I realized so much that I didn't want to be like that, and that I didn't have to be like that. And so I took control, which brings me to my next point is you have the power. Like, ultimately, you have the power, and like we live in fear about a lot of things. I know I was always really nervous to go back home with the risk of like running into my parents and whatever, to the point where like I wasn't even going to move home. And I went up there for the weekend, and I realized, and like I was only like a block away from them. That's like where I stayed the whole time, was just up the road from them. I don't even care if they know now. I don't care if they know, like we'll be up there again. But like, because I realized I have the power, and I'm not going to live in fear, because of other people. And you just need to always be hopeful for the best, but also be prepared for the worst. Like that's all you can really do. I mean, but to try and like live your life for somebody else or not do things because of other people, like that's just not, it's not a good way to live. It's not a healthy way to live. Like, you only get one life, and you should do everything with it that you want to do and not limit yourself, especially like if those limitations are coming from within because you're dealing with struggles yourself. You need to accept you, and you need to love you. And I'm a huge believer in karma, in the universe, and I always like, throwing that everywhere. I can hear Sal. But like, when you are happy and putting good out into the universe and doing what you should be doing, like life rewards you. It's really weird. That's like becoming true in my life. Like, I felt like once I survived my husband, I hear him. Once I survived my husband, like it was kind of like everything good started to happen in my life. And it's all been very humbling. So, but yeah, happy Motivational Monday. Work on positivity and self-love. And I'm going to get on here as much as I can. And maybe I'll get live eventually, but like I can't even try to do that right now with him screaming. So, everybody have a good day. Bye.